Today, I want to challenge you to do something powerful. For the next 48 hours, I want you to change the way you speak to yourself. Not forever, just 48 hours. The way you speak to yourself has a direct impact on how you think, feel, and act. Every thought you entertain and every word you repeat to yourself shapes your identity and influences your behavior. The human brain is highly adaptable, constantly rewiring itself based on the information it receives. This means that the words you say to yourself, whether positive or negative, have the power to shape your mindset, beliefs, and even your future. Imagine waking up in the morning and telling yourself, "I'm not good enough." That simple phrase, though it may seem insignificant, sets the tone for your entire day. Your mind registers it as truth, and you unconsciously begin to look for evidence to support that belief. You may hesitate to speak up in a meeting, doubt your abilities when faced with a challenge, or shy away from an opportunity that could help you grow. On the other hand, if you wake up and say, "I am capable and ready to handle whatever comes my way," your brain starts to align with that belief. You walk with more confidence, take on challenges with a problem-solving mindset, and attract opportunity because you are open to them. This is not about blind positivity or ignoring real challenges. It's about recognizing that your self-talk acts as a filter through which you experience life. The brain is wired for confirmation bias, meaning it actively seeks out information that aligns with what you already believe. If you tell yourself that you are not good enough, your brain will highlight moments of failure, overlook your strengths, and reinforce that belief. If you tell yourself that you are growing and learning, your brain will focus on progress, celebrate small wins, and make you more resilient in the face of setbacks. Neuroscience has shown that the words we use trigger emotional and physiological responses. Negative self-talk activates the brain's stress response, releasing cortisol, which can make you feel anxious, overwhelmed, and stuck. When you speak to yourself with encouragement and belief, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that boost motivation, happiness, and confidence. This is why high-performing athletes, successful leaders, and individuals who achieve great things are intentional about their internal dialogue. They don't just work on their skills, they work on their mindset by choosing words that empower them. Think about a time when you accomplished something difficult. Before you succeeded, you likely had to push through moments of doubt. What got you through? It wasn't just your ability, it was the voice in your head that said, "Keep going, you can do this." That inner dialogue is what separates those who persist from those who give up. The good news is that self-talk is not fixed. It is a habit that can be reshaped with awareness and practice. For just 48 hours, try speaking to yourself as if you were your own biggest supporter. When you catch a negative thought like, "I'll never get this right," pause and reframe it to, "I may not get it right yet, but I am improving." When self-doubt creeps in with thoughts like, "I'm not smart enough for this," respond with, "I am capable of learning and growing." The goal is not to ignore reality, but to shift the focus towards solutions and possibilities. Words have power, and the ones you say to yourself matter the most. By being intentional with your self-talk, you are not just changing your thoughts, you are shaping your future. Leadership is often associated with guiding others, making strategic decisions, and inspiring teams to achieve a common goal. While these aspects are essential, true leadership begins from within. The way a person leads themselves determines how they influence the world around them. Every great leader, whether in business, sports, or personal development, first masters the art of self-leadership before they can effectively lead others. This begins with mindset, self-discipline, and the internal dialogue that drives actions and decisions. Simon Sinek emphasizes that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This principle applies not only to leadership and organizations, but also to personal growth. The reason behind every action matters. Leading oneself with purpose means developing a strong why that fuels motivation, resilience, and clarity. When a person understands their deeper purpose, they make choices that align with their values and long-term goals rather than being swayed by temporary emotions or external pressure. A clear sense of purpose fosters consistency, and consistency is the foundation of success in any area of life. The words a person speaks to themselves shape their self-perception and directly impact their ability to lead effectively. Self-talk is a constant dialogue that influences confidence, decision-making, and performance. Leaders who talk to themselves with doubt and negativity struggle to take decisive action, while those who reinforce belief and capability create momentum and inspire confidence in others. The way individuals perceive themselves becomes the reality they live in. If they see themselves as capable, resourceful, and adaptable, they are more likely to take initiative, overcome obstacles, and grow through challenge. Self-leadership requires self-discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when motivation is lacking. Great leaders don't wait to feel inspired before taking action. They create systems and habits that keep them moving forward. Discipline is built through small, consistent actions that reinforce self-trust. When a person follows through on commitments to themselves, whether it's waking up early, exercising, or completing important tasks, they strengthen their self-leadership. Over time, these small victories build confidence and reinforce the belief that they are in control of their own path. Resilience is another key aspect of leading oneself effectively. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable, but the way a person responds to them defines their growth. Those who lead themselves well see difficulties as opportunities to learn rather than as reasons to quit. Instead of internalizing failure as a personal flaw, they analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and move forward with greater wisdom. This mindset shift prevents setbacks from becoming permanent roadblocks and turns obstacles into stepping stones towards success. Leaders also cultivate emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and regulate emotions while empathizing with others. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in this process. When individuals recognize their triggers, strengths, and areas for improvement, they gain control over their reactions and interactions. They develop patience, handle stress effectively, and create environments of trust and collaboration. Emotional intelligence allows them to navigate difficult conversations, build strong relationships, and inspire those around them with authenticity. A key element of self-leadership is taking ownership of choices and outcomes. Instead of blaming external factors or circumstances, effective leaders take responsibility for their actions, decisions, and results. They understand that while they may not control everything, they always have control over how they respond. This mindset shift from victimhood to ownership empowers individuals to take proactive steps toward improvement and success. Surrounding oneself with the right influences also plays a crucial role in self-leadership. Just as great leaders build strong teams, individuals must be intentional about the people they allow into their life. Energy is contagious, and spending time with those who uplift, challenge, and support growth strengthens self-leadership. Seeking mentorship, learning from those who have walked the path before, and engaging in continuous self-education accelerate personal and professional development. The most effective leaders understand that growth is a lifelong journey. They do not see leadership as a title, but as a responsibility to continually improve, adapt, and evolve. They remain open to learning, embrace new perspectives, and challenge themselves to reach higher levels of excellence. Leading oneself with intention, discipline, and resilience creates a ripple effect, influencing teams, families, and communities in profound ways. The way people speak to themselves has a profound impact on their confidence, mindset, and overall success. Many individuals unknowingly engage in negative self-talk, reinforcing limiting beliefs that hold them back from reaching their full potential. The words repeated in the mind become ingrained beliefs, shaping actions, decisions, and emotions. Shifting from self-criticism to empowering words can change not only how a person feels about themselves, but also how they navigate challenges and opportunities. Self-talk is like a personal coach that constantly influences behavior. When someone repeatedly tells themselves that they are not smart enough, strong enough, or capable enough, their brain accepts it as truth. The mind constantly seeks confirmation of existing beliefs, meaning that negative thoughts create a self-fulfilling cycle. If a person believes they will fail, they hesitate, avoid risks, and ultimately struggle to achieve their goals. On the other hand, when they replace negative thoughts with words of encouragement and self-belief, they begin to take action with confidence and resilience. Replacing negative self-talk with empowering words starts with awareness. Many people do not even realize how often they speak to themselves in a discouraging manner. Phrases like, "I always mess up," "I'm just not good at this," or "I'll never succeed" might seem harmless, but they create patterns of self-doubt and fear. Recognizing these automatic thoughts is the first step toward changing them. Once identified, the next step is to reframe them into words that inspire growth and self-improvement. Instead of saying, "I always fail," one can say, "Every setback is a lesson that makes me stronger." Instead of "I'm not good enough," one can affirm, "I am constantly learning and improving." This shift in language changes how the brain perceives challenges and opens the door to progress. Science supports the power of positive self-talk. Studies in neuroscience show that thoughts shape neural pathways in the brain. The more a particular thought is repeated, the stronger the neural connections become, making that belief more automatic. Negative self-talk strengthens pathways of doubt and fear, while positive self-talk builds pathways of confidence and motivation. By consciously choosing empowering words, individuals can rewire their brains to support their success. This process, known as neuroplasticity, proves that personal transformation is possible through intentional self-direction. Emotional state is also influenced by self-talk. Negative words trigger the brain's stress response, releasing cortisol, which increases anxiety and reduces problem-solving ability. In contrast, positive words activate the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and serotonin, chemicals associated with happiness, motivation, and resilience. This means that simply changing the way one speaks to themselves can shift their emotional state, making them more optimistic and proactive. The impact of self-talk extends beyond personal confidence. It affects relationships and interactions with others. A person who constantly doubts themselves may struggle to assert their opinions, take leadership roles, or embrace new opportunities. Their inner dialogue creates hesitation and insecurity, which others can perceive. Conversely, someone who speaks to themselves with belief and encouragement naturally exudes confidence, inspiring trust and respect from those around them. The way individuals communicate with themselves determines the energy they bring into the world. Daily practices can help reinforce positive self-talk. One effective method is using affirmations, short, powerful statements that reinforce confidence and self-worth, saying phrases like "I am capable," "I am resilient," and "I have everything I need to succeed" every morning can gradually shift mindset and build self-trust. Writing down accomplishments and moments of growth also strengthens a positive self-perception, proving to the mind that progress is being made. Another approach is mindfulness, observing thoughts without judgment and consciously redirecting negative ones toward a more empowering perspective. Shifting self-talk does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to respond to difficulties with words that encourage growth rather than reinforce fear. When facing setbacks, instead of saying, "I'll never get this right," one can say, "This is tough, but I will figure it out." When feeling overwhelmed, instead of saying, "I can't handle this," one can affirm, "I have faced difficulties before, and I have the strength to overcome this too." The goal is not blind positivity, but an intentional choice to speak in a way that fosters resilience and progress. The transformation that comes from replacing negative self-talk with empowering words is life-changing. Small shifts in language create a ripple effect, influencing confidence, performance, and overall well-being. When individuals take control of their internal dialogue, they unlock new levels of potential and begin to see themselves as capable, strong, and worthy of success. Small changes, when practiced consistently, lead to significant transformations over time. Many people believe that success and personal growth require massive overhauls or instant breakthroughs, but the reality is that meaningful progress comes from small, intentional actions repeated daily. The way a person thinks, speaks, and behaves shapes their future, and even the smallest shifts in mindset and habits can create lasting change. When individuals commit to just 48 hours of conscious effort in a particular area, whether improving self-talk, developing discipline, or making healthier choices, they often experience a noticeable difference. This short time frame allows them to focus on progress without feeling overwhelmed by the idea of lifelong change. The power of small changes lies in momentum. Taking a single step in the right direction builds confidence. And once that momentum starts, it becomes easier to keep going. The human brain thrives on patterns and repetition. Habits, whether positive or negative, are formed through repeated actions and reinforced neural pathways. A person who constantly doubts themselves strengthens the habit of self-doubt, while someone who consistently encourages themselves strengthens self-belief. The key to transformation is replacing unhelpful patterns with empowering ones. This is why committing to a short period, such as 48 hours, can be so effective. It disrupts old habits and introduces a new, more constructive way of thinking or behaving. A small shift in self-talk, for example, can dramatically change how a person approaches challenges. If someone typically responds to difficulties with phrases like, "I can't handle this," they reinforce a mindset of helplessness. But if they make a conscious effort to say, "I will figure this out," even for just 2 days, they start training their brain to focus on solutions instead of limitations. This minor adjustment, when practiced consistently, rewires thought patterns and builds resilience. Momentum builds when individuals realize that they are capable of change. Often, the biggest obstacle to personal growth is the belief that transformation is too difficult or takes too long. However, when someone experiences the benefits of a small change in just 48 hours, whether feeling more confident, more focused, or more in control, they begin to see the possibility of long-term improvement. Success becomes a series of small victories rather than an overwhelming goal in the distant future. Every major achievement is the result of small, consistent actions. A person who wants to improve their health does not need to overhaul their entire lifestyle overnight. Simply drinking more water, walking an extra 10 minutes a day, or making one healthier food choice can create noticeable changes in energy and well-being. A person who wants to develop confidence doesn't need to become fearless immediately. They just need to practice speaking up a little more each day. And over time, that practice turns into natural confidence. The power of small changes extends beyond personal growth. It influences relationships, careers, and overall fulfillment. A leader who takes a few extra minutes to appreciate their team members creates a culture of encouragement and motivation. An entrepreneur who dedicates just 30 minutes a day to learning a new skill gains a competitive edge over time. A person who spends just 5 minutes each morning practicing gratitude rewires their brain to focus on positivity rather than problem. None of these changes feel overwhelming in the moment, but their cumulative effect is powerful. One of the most effective ways to reinforce small changes is by tracking progress. When individuals document their efforts, they create a sense of accountability and motivation. Writing down small wins, no matter how insignificant they seem, provides evidence of growth and encourages continued effort. This is why habits like journaling, setting daily intentions, or reflecting on positive moments can be so effective. They keep progress visible and remind individuals that every small step matters. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because they seek immediate results. However, true transformation happens gradually. The key is to commit to small, manageable actions that feel achievable rather than overwhelming. When individuals realize that they do not need to change everything at once, they become more willing to take that first step. Each small effort compounds over time, leading to profound and lasting change. The words people speak to themselves influence their thoughts, emotions, and actions. The way individuals perceive their abilities, potential, and circumstances is largely shaped by their internal dialogue. Every opportunity in life is either embraced or missed based on self-perception, and that perception is built through the language people use with themselves. When individuals talk to themselves in a way that reinforces fear, doubt, or limitation, they subconsciously close doors to possibilities. When they speak with confidence, self-belief, and openness to growth, they begin to see opportunities everywhere. People who constantly say, "I'm not ready, I don't have what it takes," or "I always mess up," create a mental environment where success feels unattainable. Their words shape their expectations, and expectations influence behavior. Someone who believes they will fail is less likely to take risks, step out of their comfort zone, or persist when challenges arise. On the other hand, someone who tells themselves, "I can learn, I will find a way," or "every challenge is an opportunity to grow," sees possibilities where others see obstacles. The brain operates on a system of reinforcement. What a person repeatedly tells themselves becomes ingrained as a belief, and those beliefs dictate actions. This is why two people can face the same situation but have completely different experiences. One might view a setback as proof that they are incapable, while the other sees it as feedback for improvement. The difference is not in the situation itself, but in the narrative they create around it. Words act as filters that determine whether a person sees a path forward or a dead end. People who develop the habit of positive and empowering self-talk naturally attract better opportunities. This is not because of luck or external advantages, but because they are more willing to take action. A person who tells themselves, "I am capable and prepared for success," is more likely to apply for a job, start a new project, or pursue an idea. Their words create a mindset that encourages them to explore possibilities rather than fear failure. Meanwhile, someone who repeatedly says, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never make it," will hesitate, overanalyze, and ultimately avoid opportunities that could change their life. Self-talk not only affects how individuals perceive opportunities, but also how others perceive. Confidence is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who believe in themselves. Whether in business, relationships, or leadership, those who speak to themselves with belief project that belief outwardly. This creates trust, inspires collaboration, and opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. A leader who tells themselves, "I am capable of making a difference," will take initiative and inspire their team. A professional who believes, "I bring value to the table," will communicate their ideas with conviction and earn respect. Changing self-talk does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. It means choosing to focus on solutions instead of limitations. Instead of saying, "This is impossible," a person can say, "What is one step I can take toward making this work?" Instead of thinking, "I don't have the experience," they can say, I am capable of learning and adapting. These small shifts in language change how the brain processes problems, turning them into opportunities for growth rather than reasons to quit. A powerful way to reinforce positive self-talk is by surrounding oneself with people who reflect those same beliefs. The words and energy of those around us influence our own thinking. Spending time with individuals who encourage, support, and challenge growth strengthens the habit of speaking positively to oneself. On the other hand, constant exposure to negativity, criticism, and doubt makes it harder to maintain an empowering mindset. Self-awareness is key to mastering self-talk. It requires recognizing patterns of negative dialogue and intentionally replacing them with words that inspire confidence and action. Writing down limiting beliefs and consciously reframing them into empowering statements can be a practical exercise in shifting self-perception. The more a person practices, the more automatic positive self-talk becomes. The way individuals speak to themselves today shapes the opportunities they see tomorrow. When they talk to themselves as someone who is capable, resourceful, and deserving of success, they begin to take actions that align with that belief. Over time, those actions create results that reinforce a new reality, one filled with possibilities instead of limitations. The way people speak to themselves directly influences their self-worth, confidence, and overall. Many individuals do not realize that their internal dialogue is shaping their future, reinforcing patterns that either push them forward or hold them back. When someone speaks to themselves with kindness, encouragement, and belief, they create a mindset that fosters growth and resilience. On the other hand, negative self-talk erodes confidence, fuels self-doubt, and limits potential. Mastering self-talk is not just about feeling good in the moment. It is about setting the foundation for long-term. Self-talk acts as an internal guide, determining how individuals react to challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. If someone constantly tells themselves they are not good enough, their brain searches for evidence to support that belief. They hesitate to take risks, avoid new experiences, and settle for less than they deserve. But when a person intentionally chooses words that affirm their abilities, they begin to see themselves in a more capable and empowered light. This shift in perspective allows them to take action with confidence, persist through difficulties, and seize opportunities that they might have otherwise ignored. The impact of self-talk extends beyond personal mindset. It affects performance and productivity. Studies in psychology have shown that people who engage in positive self-talk are more likely to achieve their goals because they approach tasks with a solution-oriented mindset. Instead of saying, "This is too hard, I can't do it," they tell themselves, "This is a challenge, but I will figure it out." This simple change in language keeps them engaged and motivated, leading to better problem solving and higher levels of success. The subconscious mind absorbs repeated messages, whether they are empowering or limiting. Every time a person speaks to themselves in a certain way, they reinforce a belief about their identity. This is why it is so important to be mindful of self-talk. If someone repeatedly says, "I am always unlucky," they start to expect failure and miss out on opportunities that could have led to success. But if they affirm, "I create my own luck through hard work and preparation," they begin to notice and act on possibilities that align with that belief. The words individuals choose when speaking to themselves also shape their emotional state. Negative self-talk triggers stress, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy, while positive self-talk fosters confidence, motivation, and resilience. When a person acknowledges their strengths and progress, they create a mindset that supports well-being. Even in difficult moments, reminding oneself of past successes and capabilities provides the encouragement needed to keep moving forward. One powerful strategy for improving self-talk is to use affirmations. Affirmations are intentional, positive statements that reinforce self-belief in desired outcomes. Statements like, "I am strong and capable," "I handle challenges with confidence," and "I am constantly learning and growing" help reprogram the mind for success. When these affirmations are repeated consistently, they replace old limiting beliefs with new, empowering. Visualization is another effective tool. When people imagine themselves succeeding and achieving their goals, they strengthen neural pathways that make those outcomes more attainable. Pairing visualization with self-talk creates a mental environment where success feels natural and expected. For example, an athlete who repeatedly tells themselves, "I am prepared, focused, and ready to win," while visualizing their performance, increases their confidence and ability to perform under pressure. Surrounding oneself with positive influences is also essential for reinforcing constructive self-talk. The people individuals interact with shape their beliefs about themselves. Being around those who uplift, encourage, and support growth makes it easier to maintain a strong and positive internal dialogue. On the other hand, constant exposure to negativity and criticism can reinforce doubts and insecurities. Choosing an environment that nurtures confidence and self-worth helps sustain long-term growth. Practicing gratitude can also transform self-talk. When individuals focus on what they appreciate about themselves and their progress, they shift their mindset from self-criticism to self-acceptance. Recognizing strengths, celebrating small wins, and appreciating personal growth fosters a healthier relationship with oneself. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, gratitude highlights what is already working and builds a foundation for continued improvement. Developing empowering self-talk requires consistency. It is not about eliminating all negative thoughts, but about becoming aware of them and intentionally shifting them toward a more constructive perspective. With time and practice, positive self-talk becomes the default response, creating a mindset that supports success, confidence, and personal fulfillment.